In-depth look at Starfield Shattered Space Expansion. Over 50 new locations. Introduce new enemies. Explore a fully handcrafted new location and unravel the mysteries surrounding the followers of the Great Serpent. House Vieron is on the brink of collapse, and their people need help finding a path forward. When your sudden presence on their hidden home planet is seen by some as divine intervention, it's up to you to restore House Vieron and decide the fate of this secretive faction. According to Bethesda's tweet, Starfield Shattered Space DLC will feature over 50 new locations to discover and explore across Vieron Kai. You will also be introduced to the gross art of crafting new grenades from organic material. There is also some info on the Shattered Space baddies whom Bethesda calls formidable. They are the Redeemed and Vortex Horrors. Shattered Space launches on September 30th. Get an in-depth look at the upcoming expansion in this deep dive with Bethesda Game Studios. Think you'll arrive in Vieron Kai and meet only folks from factions you never knew of? Think again, because you haven't seen the last of Zealots, Spacers, or the Crimson Fleet. As you explore the planet, be on the lookout for those taking advantage of the situation, Bethesda said in the tweet. The Crimson Fleet was the first pirate crew you learned of when you started your Starfield journey as a miner under Supervisor Lynn. Later, they gave you a hard time when they abducted Barrett and Heller. One Spacer-occupied location unlocked the exciting Starfield mission related to the feared vigilante known as the Mantis. Starfield players keep bumping into Spacers and the Crimson Fleet pirates while carrying out their missions. Throughout the base game, the majority of your interactions with House Vieron come in the form of attacks from Zealots. Your first introduction probably came from the UC Vanguard Museum, where you learned about the Bloody Serpent's crusade. It paints House Vieron as a one-dimensional religious cult. In Shattered Space, you'll see the other side and begin to fill in some of the missing details in the story. A civilization in ruin. Starfield Shattered Space Expansion Pack is expected to bring some fresh energy to the game world that's been criticized by a few for being simplified and generic. It pits you against a cosmic threat and also adds unique weapons, spacesuits, and gear to keep your motivation for that loot going. You arrive on Vieron Kai to find the capital city in chaos. A massive vortex had recently devastated Dazra, swallowing huge chunks of the city. Residents are searching for missing loved ones and attempting to put their lives back together, and they don't seem entirely pleased by your arrival. But what is this vortex? What happened to the people that disappeared into it?
Who will lead the people now?
Throughout your journey in Shattered Space, you'll uncover the truth behind what caused the vortex to appear, and in doing so, decide the fate of House Vieron, an isolated new location. For years, the people of House Vieron have been cut off from the settled systems, which made them the perfect faction to explore in a completely self-contained experience. The entire story takes place on this new, handcrafted planet. We wanted to give you the opportunity to explore every nook and cranny of this location and find clues as to who these people really are and what happened to them, explains lead producer Joe Mueller. When we first started thinking about what this experience would be like, we knew we wanted it to feel like a traditional Bethesda Game Studios expansion. Having the planet laid out so intentionally works perfectly with this isolationist society. Everything they've done since establishing themselves will be right here on Vieron Kai. The whole planet tells the story of these people who have never left their home and want to remain a secret. Starfield Shattered Space Expansion drops on September 30th. If you've purchased the digital premium edition of Starfield, then you already have it in your library and just need to wait till the Shattered Space launch date. But if you have the Starfield base game only, then you'll need to purchase the Shattered Space Expansion Pack, which costs 1,699 rupees on Steam. You can also pre-purchase the Shattered Space DLC.